Yo, 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 yo. Good morning, Pitch. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How you been, bro? Ain't seen you in a long time, brother.
I've been doing good, bro. How about you?
I've been all right, man. You know, I've been all right. Appreciate your time this morning, bro. Appreciate you coming through. I was running super late. Just running around this morning. I said, man, I said I never ain't gonna make it. I said I ain't gonna make it this morning, bro. I didn't think I was. Oh man, I didn't think I was gonna make it. So starting off, I guess we could talk about the games that came on yesterday. I guess so, right? Bowl season. This bowl season, right? And did we not see Tulane yesterday get shellacked by Florida? Florida just they own that game. Florida just owned them. DJ Lagway had two interceptions. I think he had two interceptions. He looked good at times, and he made some bad decisions with the ball under pressure, trying to make a play that he probably shouldn't have made. But they wind up beating Tulane 33-8. I mean, BTA all the way up on them guys. Um, I don't know. Did you get a chance to check that game out at all?
Yeah, alone to be honest.
You said what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Katie? You said what now?
I said I didn't. I said I checked a little.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, all right.
You said you checked a little bit of it out.
Yeah, I said I checked a bit of it out. I watched the second half of it because I really didn't know that the game was on. I just happened to see somebody on Twitter say something like, "Is this the offensive line that Florida bragging about bringing back next year?" And I was like, "Oh, I forgot they are playing today." So I went. So I
Yeah.
went to go. I went to go check it out. I mean, I don't really know what you can make of a freshman quarterback because I think it's been a while since you just had like a actual true freshman quarterback just set the world like set the stage on fire. Like Trevor Lawrence to me was, I think he had the best like overall true freshman season, seeing as that he went to, they beat Alabama in the national title game that particular year. But other than that, I mean, I don't know what more you can expect from a true freshman, to be honest.
Right. Right. I mean, well, yeah. I mean, he like I said, he played his game. He didn't make, what I mean, so many bad decisions, all bad decisions. He made some good ones. It was only two passes, but they beat on Tulane anyway. She said, "Wake up, Shad." He tired, man. My dog tired, man. He probably shouldn't even be here, man.
No, no,
I
I'm
should be in the
good.
bed. I appreciate him though being here though.
No, I'm
You know what I'm
good.
saying and whatnot. But yeah, they that's how that went. Yeah, sir. That's how exactly how that went though. But yeah, but all right. So did you get a chance to see the Indiana Hoosiers play Notre Dame? Did you watch that game?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was able to watch it. I saw it. I mean, I caught the second half of it because I know we was South Coast show, so it pretty much ran the whole duration of like the first half. So, but I was able to check it out towards the end. Um, people are fake outraged about Indiana shouldn't have been there, and I really want to touch on this topic because I wrote some stuff down, but I had to run to the store and get some gas for my wife. I got some stuff wrote down that I just have to say, and but
All right. Well, yeah. Well,
yeah,
we
yeah,
ain't going nowhere right
yeah, yeah,
now,
yeah,
so we'll.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, but I mean, what were your thoughts on the game though?
You know what? I think my thoughts on that game is that because that's how I feel, bro. That's exactly how I feel in a way. Like I took SMU, I took not SMU. Goodness gracious, that's I took Indiana to beat Notre Dame, and I was wrong. And I just, but I did say, I said, if Notre Dame pulls this game off, that they were going to pull this game off by being able to run the ball well. And I think that they had to put the game in Riley Leonard's head. I don't think that Indiana, for one, did not, they didn't have a QB spy on Riley Leonard. I don't know why. You got to respect his running ability because that's what he does best at. He picked up a crucial third down in the game that I don't think he should have picked up because there should have been a spy on him. I think Indiana was able to get pressure at times, and they didn't say. I don't think they sold out to stop the run. I think their I think their defensive scheme should have been condensed down because I think their cornerbacks and their DBs over at Indiana was up for the task. I thought that they played horrible defense against the run. Love broke for what, a 98-yard touchdown or something like that. It was 98 yards, some crazy like that. And I'm like, how? How does he get that free to bust open, a 98-yard touchdown on that running defense? Y'all faced some tough running teams, and I thought they were up for the task. I honestly did, and I just think that it was just some bad play calling, man. Bad choice. I thought that Cincinnati made some bad choices in that game. Uh, Later on in the game to punt the ball with them being down by where they were down by 17 at that point, and then they wound up punting the ball away and letting Notre Dame score again. Uh, like go for it. And then I hate to say that it was garbage time when when uh when Curtis Rourke finally got going at the end. I hate to say that it was garbage time because it just seemed like he was comfortable in his element. They had nothing to lose at that point. All his throws were on time. Even his famous back shoulder ball that he likes to throw off the outside, that was on time. And it's like, damn, why did y'all play so much of a conservative game against Indiana? Like I thought y'all learned, I thought y'all learned by, playing Ohio State and being in that big of a game, how it felt to be in a big game. And I guess not. Um, that game was so hyped up all around Indiana. It was Indiana versus Indiana pretty much. Notre Dame being in South Bend and then, Indiana being Indiana. It was that was a huge game. And maybe I guess the atmosphere was just too big for them. But I just think they called a game that just wasn't characteristic of them. I don't think that was their game at all. And I don't think we finished seeing Indiana. So I'm not going to hop on that train aboard that. But, that's what I first thought when I was watching the game. Those were my first thoughts. Like, man, well, maybe they didn't deserve to be here. You know what I'm saying? But now that's what you're hearing. And I think we're going to hear that a lot, though, Shad, that they don't deserve, Indiana didn't deserve to be in that game. What was their resume? Their resume didn't say, who did they play? And all I can say to that is that that's why I believe these teams, Shad, should play. These Power Five teams should not play none of these Division 2 teams. Don't go playing. You know what I mean? If you're going to play a G5, that's cool because I think some G5 teams could win those games. Um, a strong Tulane or a strong Army, maybe even a strong Toledo or Buffalo. I think, in the MAC, I think could take down some of the best of the power teams, but that's neither here or there. But, that's why they need to play other power conferences and their non-conference games because this narrative just gets on my nerves. Indiana won, they won their games in dominant fashion. It's not who they played, it's how they beat them. I think that they deserve to be there. But I definitely want to see these teams play teams worth playing. You know what I mean? I want to see other teams play teams that are worth playing. I would like to see more of Georgia playing the best of the Big 12 or the best of the ACC in a non-conference game instead of picking up those Mercer teams, because Indiana was 3-9. A lot of people forget that Indiana was 3-9 before they made the college football playoff this year. They forget that. A lot of people forget that they were 3-9, and part of them having a schedule that they had this year was because the year before they only won 3 games. You know what I mean? Barely won 3 games. You know, so and I don't get where they're getting that. Kurt Signetti thought that they would that he could take that team and get 9 wins out of that team with the teams that they played last year. And now people are saying that the Big Ten and the SEC don't deserve, to be getting in these 3 teams. They're not as good as a lot of people say they are. That's another narrative floating around right now. And as I am with those guys playing better teams, I still think on the other hand, because 2 things could be true in this type of situation. I believe that they can play better out of conference opponents, but at the same time, those 2 conferences are where most of the talent has gone through college football. And the same thing repeated this year. You look at all the high school, the top blue chip prospects that entered college football, they went to the Big Ten or the SEC. Now, this whole this JUCO thing may change a lot of that. It will change a lot of that. This JUCO thing will change a lot of that. You will start seeing a lot of better polished players coming out and going to other conferences, and college football will be equal at some point. I don't know how long it's going to take. I would say, give it 4 to 5 years, but yeah, we'll start seeing it different. But I say all of that just to say that Indiana is, I think they deserve to be where they were. I'm not going to sit here and spin that narrative and say that, I picked them, that I was wrong in that game. But I'm not going to sit here and be one of those guys who saying that they didn't deserve to be in that game and they shouldn't have played against. They should never been in that game against Notre Dame, because yeah, they should have been in that game against Notre Dame. I thought they played a good game. Shout out to them, man. And they made it there. I just thought it was some bad play calling with that, man. But yeah, that's where I'm at with that, bro. That's where I'm at. I don't
So
know.
do you think the moment got too big for Kirk? He talks a big game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's commendable. He doesn't hold back anything. You know what I mean? So people like brashness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the moment was too big? Obviously, many people bring up that situation where you punt the ball, you're now 17, and why are you punting the ball? You've been uber aggressive the entire season. Um, to me, it was just an aspect of. Notre Dame was the more talented team. To me,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that, but I see people say that the system is still broken. To me, it can't be fixed because honestly speaking, right, anybody can lose on any given day. The thing of it is that we're not playing the law of best 2 out of 3. Football is
Mm-hmm.
not like that, right? So like other sports, basketball, um, baseball, all these other sports, like you don't just have a one game to just prove who's the better team, right? You have multiple games, and you have to show us that you're better than this particular team over a 4 game sample size, right? So I don't get it, right? So people are bringing up obviously the strength of schedule, right? So I went back, right, and that because obviously it kind of started with the TCU situation, even though this precedes the TCU game against Georgia. So I went back to like 2012, right? So Notre Dame played Alabama in the national championship game. Alabama won 42-14. Now, are individuals. Now, there were a few people that said Notre Dame didn't need to be there and that the actual national championship game was between Georgia and Alabama. But Georgia lost.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't put them in over Notre Dame. Notre Dame went undefeated that particular season, but they lost 42-14. But again, that particular year, Notre Dame played a really, really good schedule. They played, I remember they played us that year, which we weren't that good that year. They played a good USC team. I want to say they played Oklahoma that year. Like they played a really good schedule that year. But what did that strength of schedule mean when you lost 42-14?
Right.
What did that mean? You know what I mean? So people are making too much about this strength of schedule, right? So then we go to 2014. Ohio State didn't even win the Big Ten in 2014. Penn State won. So they beat a Oregon team who, in many regards, played a tougher schedule than Ohio State did. They beat them 42-20. Are we to
Mm-hmm.
say Ohio? Well, Oregon, are y'all not supposed to be there? 2019, Trevor Lawrence, Clemson. Obviously, Bama played a much tougher schedule than Clemson did, but what did that mean? They lost 44-16.
Mm.
Would anybody bang the desk and say, "Oh, well, Bama should have been there"? They lost 44-16. So obviously, if you want to set this precedent, then let's go back to games where there are teams that are somewhat evenly matched in terms of talent acquisition, right? So then we go to
Mm-hmm.
2020. We all know 2020, Joe Burrow. LSU beat Clemson 42-25. Are we to say Clemson shouldn't have been there? Clemson shouldn't have been there. The committee, they got it wrong. They shouldn't have been there. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. 2021, Alabama beats Ohio State 52-24. Nobody said, Ohio State shouldn't have been there. Nobody says these things. Then we go to 2022, which I mean, the numbers don't look that bad, but it's still a three-possession game. Georgia beats Alabama in the national championship game 33-18. And then also in 2021,
Wow.
Georgia beats Michigan 34-11 in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm.
So if you wanna see people wanna do these revisionist things, like they don't want to
Mm.
go back, and I can go further back than that, but I remember 2012 was a very contentious year in terms of like Notre Dame called a run, Manti Te'o. Like, I mean, they weren't special, but I mean they won their games. You know what I mean? They won their games. But I mean, at the end of the day, the people that are crying and upset about this, like, bro, y'all lost to a team that was heavily injured on the second string quarterback. Y'all went over to their crib and lost 24-3. Ole Miss, y'all lost to Kentucky. South Carolina, y'all had a pretty good season and all this stuff like that. But I mean, y'all got 3 losses. And then obviously my Miami Hurricanes, bro, we up 21-0. We up 21-0. And we allow for a team to come back and outscore us 42-17. So what are we talking? And this thing of people fantasizing what something would look like if a team played. It's like all teams can't go up to Indiana and play in the cold. All y'all can't go out there and play in the cold. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like at the end of the day, I mean, is there an argument to be made that that those three teams, Ole Miss, Bama, and South Carolina and Miami, no one's gonna make an argument to say that any one of those four teams would have won a national championship this year. So I look at it like nobody picked Indiana to win the national title. Now, I mean, you could say stuff happens, yeah, stuff does happen, but at the end of the day, the two best teams are in the playoffs. Georgia and Oregon. The two best teams are in the playoffs. So if they make it to the national championship game and they play and whoever wins, I'm rolling with Oregon. All this does not, all the 12th team, 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, None of that matters. None of it matters. Because at the end of the day, I think we do have the two best teams in college football in the playoffs. And I mean, somebody can make an argument for Texas. You can make an argument for Tennessee. I'm sure you can make an argument for Penn State. But we know the two best teams are there. And that is the objective at the end of the That's the objective at the end of the day. Nobody cares about, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get out of here. It's a Miami sports writer who brought up a very, very great analogy. He talked about the selection committee or the tournament selection for the field of 64. And he basically said, if you're arguing about whether or not you should be the 64th seed, which is the equivalent to the 12th seed, that means you didn't do enough during the season. You shouldn't be arguing about who's the first person in. I mean, who's the last person in the door. You should want to be one of the first few people in the door. Why are you arguing about being one of the last people in the door? Who does that? You're arguing about I should be the last person in. I don't like associating with people like this. Nah, I can't hear you.
You say my sound is gone. You say my sound is gone. Oh, so what I was saying was I didn't know what I said. Okay, so y'all say my sound is gone. So what I was saying was, and
Okay.
I was getting a bunch of slides ready in the background anyway. But what I was saying was that's why these bowl games used to mean something. These bowl games used to mean something, you know, and That's why it'll end a whole bunch of the narratives that we have on the panels versus what we have everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just not us. It's the other people that believe that too. But it end all of that BS talk. What conference is better than what conference? That's what these bowl games used to be for. Let me see what the middle of my conference lines up to the top of your conference. Let's see what the top of my conference lines up to the top of your conference. Let's see what that means. That's how that's supposed to end. But you got guys leaving their teams, you know what I'm saying, not wanting to play in the bowl games. You got coaches leaving their teams, not wanting to finish off with their bowl games. But that's what that was for. You know, at the end of the year, you know, after you done played all your conference games, you done made it through your conference. Now you made it into a bowl game because you won 6 games, 6 hard-fought games. Now let's see how you match up versus the Big 12 versus the SEC. Let's see how that matches up. See, that'll end all that bull crap talk too. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's why I still go off of that. Like, you want to quit before bowl in the bowl game? Do you want to quit before a bowl game? Okay, cool. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. But don't put that against me when I go back and I report that fucking Tulane beat the shit out of Florida. Don't get mad at me for that. Because I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to talk about what Tulane did. Oh, there was a bunch of sophomores. I don't give a damn. They should have played. They should have went out there and played the damn game. Cause that's the only way this shit's gonna end. That's the only way it's ever gonna end. That's it. That is it. You know, that's how you take care of that. But we'll never know because it's a cop out now. You know, you're gonna have 1,000 guys that's gonna get drafted. You know, everybody who drop out of their bowl game is gonna get drafted. But you already done played fucking 12 games. It's stupid to me. It makes no fucking sense, Shad. It makes no sense to me. You already played 12 games without being worried about being injured. What's one more fucking game, Shad? One more game. One more game. Let's just play there's one more game to play, and you don't want to play it. You know, it don't make sense. But stop being scared. You know, we'll see what's up though. We'll see what's up. And thank you for that, Katie, because I didn't know my sound was gone. My sound was gone because I was off the screen doing other things, but it's just crazy to say that. But I'm off that. You got anything you want to say, Shad, before closing out, man? Because I'll get fired up about this, man. I will.
No, man. I mean, you got it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's you know, like you say, you got guys leaving playoff teams to go in the transfer portal. I mean, you got, like you say, guys opting out. But to me, the way it's looking like right now, it don't like it's the opt-outs don't look like they're as prevalent as they were maybe a couple of years back.
Mm-hmm.
I think more so maybe these teams, or they have to. They probably have to start tying these NIL deals into if we make a bowl game, you have to play, right?
Thank
Or you're going to you have to pay a penalty or something like that. You know what
Yes.
I mean? So, but I mean, I don't know, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm just waiting for it to crash and burn at this point, man. I'm just waiting for it to crash and burn. That's all I'm waiting for. Because it's gonna crash, it's gonna burn. I'm just waiting on it.
Yeah, it
Because
is.
this is what people wanted.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
we
again,
wanted it.
like I said, I'm gonna stand on this here. People wanted fairness in terms of they didn't want the SEC continue to be able to pay players under the table, hoarding talent on rosters. They wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want that anymore. They wanted parity. So now you got parity in the sport. So now these big time teams are not able to hoard all this talent. They're leaving and going other places. Now, obviously, some of the side effects of it, you didn't factor in that they were just gonna say, "Hey, look, y'all can transfer as many times as y'all want to. Y'all can take as many visits as y'all want to. Y'all can do all this stuff." But I say this, and I said this because shout out to my dog King Reason on Twitter. I said, look, because he brought up, he said the NCAA needs to come out with a rule. And I said, no,
Yeah.
they don't. I said, because if schools have no problem allowing for a player that has gone to 2 or 3 previous schools, if they don't have a problem with him coming to visit, they don't have a problem with taking time away from them game planning and working with their players who are actually on the team to host this young man and is looking to get him to play on their roster, then why should the
Mm-hmm.
NCAA care? if the school don't care. Like, look, bro, Bear Alexander is going to Oregon. So if
Hmm?
Dan Lanning does not care about him starting at Georgia, going to USC, quitting on USC, and now you're looking to go to Oregon. If Dan Lanning don't care, why should the NCAA care? JT Daniels went to like five or six different schools. If
Mm-mm-mm.
West Virginia did not care about him being at all these other schools, why should the NCAA care? Let them do what they want to do, because the
Yeah.
only way you're gonna stop it is if schools say we're not gonna let you come visit.
Mm-hmm.
So when they put their foot down and say we're not gonna let you come visit, then that will maybe start to deter some of the actions. But as long as they cool with letting them leave and come visit, and letting them stay in high-dollar hotels and feeding them and all this stuff. I mean, if you cool with that, hey, let the old saying go. If you like it, I love it.
Right. 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 Katie said there. She said there would be parity with talent. Salute the chat bishop. Salute the bishop. Salute the law dog. Salute the Katie. Katie
Oh yeah,
said there
yeah, the
may be,
great coaches. Yeah.
huh?
No, I'm agreeing with what she said. Yeah, the great coaches will still be the winners. Yeah, they. I
That's a
mean,
fact.
that's where the balance come in at right there. So
Yeah, that's
that's why
exactly
people
what
are,
we're saying.
people are upset. Yeah,
You got to
yeah,
coach the team. You got to coach, and that's what's
yeah.
happening. That's what's going on now. That's why I think that Belichick is gonna have success with UNC. I ain't get your take on that. How you feel about that, real quick
I
before we move
mean,
on.
like I say, it can go bad, or it can go terribly bad, or it can
Hmm.
go really, really good. The only thing that I'll say is how is their approach going to be? Are they going to take like a Dion approach in terms of we're going to go mainly portal guys? Because we have to really look at it and say they're going to bring in NFL personnel. So
Fact.
NFL personnel and scouts, those are guys who probably are looking at guys. I mean, they're known for looking at guys at North Dakota State, South Dakota State, like Texas Tech, maybe not always the big time schools, and they're finding value with these particular guys and projecting them to go to the next level. So, I mean, if that's the approach that they're going to take, because I see like his first signing was a center from Holy Cross, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's right up Bill Belichick's, wheelhouse. They had the rumor that they offered Mateer a lot of money to come to UNC. So I mean, if they're gonna take that approach, then they should be able to compete immediately in the ACC, because um, the only holdup to me would be translating NFL verbiage in terms of teaching to collegiate players, which
Mm.
again to me is going to go back to, are they going to be looking to get a lot of guys that are maybe in their junior year? Are they not going, because obviously I think it'll be much easier to teach those guys, because those guys don't have the same class load as the freshmen and sophomores, so they have more time to dedicate to studying and have more time to watch film and stuff like that. So if they go with that particular approach, I mean, it hurts high school players, but at the end of the day, I mean,
Hmm.
G5s are always available for your talent. HBCUs are available for your talent. Division II schools, that they can always use your talent. So y'all can go to these particular places. You can look at it as an internship.
Yeah.
Go to these places, and then your junior year, you can
Hmm.
you can ask your price.
That's
So
a fact. Why wouldn't you do that at this point though, Shad? Like I was talking to my son, right? COVID hit and he gained some weight. He started off being a quarterback. COVID hit, he gained weight. Then he went to the defensive line, offensive line, and stuff like that. But he's shorter than a lot of the prototype off defense and offensive lineman. He's 6 foot, about 6'1". He shot up over the summer. Oh my God. I don't know how I had a baby that big. I'd be questioning my wife, like, he mine, ain't he? He a big boy, Shad. He a big boy. But anyhow, uh, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Like, I love you, baby. I love you. But he and I'm like, juke. He's like, Dad, did you see this JUCO thing going down? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, yeah, there's gonna be dudes that's super old playing college football. I said, no, 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 no. Don't look at it. I said, that's true. But don't look at it like that. I said, there's a lot of guys, a lot of kids, or a lot of young men that graduate high school that are 18, 19 years old. Am I wrong? Like there's a lot of guys who graduate 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys. Um, he will be coming out of high school when he's 17, turning 18. If he chose to go to the JUCO route, he would then be out of JUCO for 2 years, which would be making him a 19-year-old freshman going into a college because they're not counting those 2 JUCO years. I said, why would you go straight to a Division I school? Why wouldn't you go to JUCO, ball out for 2 years, get your grown man body, come in as a seasoned freshman to a Power 5 level and get that NIL bag? He starts scratching his head like, I ain't think about it like that. I'm saying, yeah, why would anybody do that? This is good. I think it's gonna help JUCO. I think that whole move with them doing Pavia the way they had Diego Pavia and making that ruling. I don't know. Now it was just one ruling. It was an injunction, so it doesn't mean that they're gonna do it for every single team out there. Let me make that clear with everybody out there. I understand that it's not gonna happen for everybody, but still, you know what I mean. You can't do it from one person and say you're not going to do it for others. You know what I mean? And then and stop that. But if you straight out of high school, why wouldn't you go to a JUCO level? Why wouldn't you go to a Independence, a Coach JB University or whatever they got, East LA? Why wouldn't you go to Mississippi and play down there for that JUCO for 2 years and then move up to the Power 5 level and have all your eligibility left? Why wouldn't you do that? I don't know. I think it'd be genius to do that, and I think that it'll help a lot of guys who are not blue chip prospects become a blue chip prospect. So if you're not a blue chip prospect coming out of high school right now, you got some backups got jobs at Georgia or at whatever school in the MAC. You might want to consider going to JUCO for 2 years, working out, getting your speed, working on your speed, getting your strength up, and then just coming in 2 more years, ready to go. You know, that's what I think. That's what I think. Yeah, Belichick is already building the trenches first. Then he looks at speed. If that works with the high school recruits, will come. I think so. I think so. He's definitely building the inside out for sure. Um, SMU versus Penn State. Go ahead. It's on you, bro.
I mean, it's gonna be an interesting game. Um, I just have to look at it and say Penn State has the advantage. I think Penn State is probably obviously again because SMU is 1 year removed from G5, right? They have some P5 players that transferred down to them. Quite a few of them come from the University of Miami and other places. So I'm not gonna say that they're gonna get outclassed the way that maybe Indiana did against Notre Dame, but to me, it would be surprising if they're able to keep this game competitive against Penn State. They're going up to Pennsylvania. What's the temperature up there right now? 30 something?
Oh, it
40,
ain't, it ain't,
20?
it ain't, it ain't too bad. It ain't too bad out here. But let me get the exact.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Penn State is in Pennsylvania, but I don't know where it I don't know what part of PA it's
It's
in.
gonna
But
be
I mean
25.
I
It's
mean it's 30
25
here.
degrees. What time do they kick off today? Let me get the exact time they're going to kick off today. SMU and Penn
Don't they
State.
have an early game?
They kicking
Don't they have
off
the
at
first game?
12 o'clock. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff
Oh,
today. Um,
so yeah.
so yeah, they'll be in the 12 o'clock. This be 25 degrees. Supposed to be light precipitation. Looks like.
Oh
Uh,
man, yeah.
no, it ain't. No, it ain't
But
supposed to rain. It's
but I
50. It's
will say this though.
25
I
with
will
the
say
one.
this though. There-
Uh huh. Go ahead, Shad.
No,
Shad.
what I was gonna say is I don't think that I don't think the weather's gonna impact what SMU wants to do because they are predominantly run. They like to run the ball. They have a quarterback that can run the ball and stuff like that. So I mean, so They run the ball. Defense is solid.
Mm-hmm.
But James Franklin, I mean, this is a big game. You know what I mean? We know how James Franklin does in big games. You know what I mean? So I mean, you still got that over his head where it's like, James, you may find a way to blow this game. You know what I mean? So um, I want SMU to win because I'm gonna tell you why
Okay.
I want SMU to win. Because SMU is a team that they feel the same way about them as they feel about Indiana. So I would love for how people would spin the narrative to go from, okay, you said SMU is not supposed to be here, but they beat Penn State. So what are you
Mm,
gonna say now? Are you gonna say
mm,
Penn State shouldn't have been there,
mm,
or are you gonna say, or are you gonna say Penn State's overrated? I mean, what are you gonna say? Because you can't use the resume strength of schedule talk with Penn State because they got a good strength of schedule. You can't use that.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they played for the Big 12 championship. Now, obviously, they lost to Oregon or whatnot. Lost to Ohio State as well. But I mean, what are you gonna say then? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I want SMU to win for that. But I'm gonna roll with SMU, man. I'm gonna be a conference dog today. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
he
roll
want
with the
you want
conference
SMU
play.
to win. Nah, like
ACC.
I get it. You want SMU to win because it's going to, the strength of schedule. What is people going to say? You looking forward to the upset because then
Yeah,
what are
I
people going to
like
say if SMU wins? I get that. I get that, bro.
exactly,
And I rock with
exactly.
that.
Yeah,
I rock with that.
that's what I want. Yeah,
You know,
I want to
I
I
rock
want to
with
hear
that.
people switch it up and say, yeah.
What are you going to
So
say then if
yeah,
SMU is able to pull this off versus no versus Penn State? If SMU goes in the Happy Valley 25-degree weather, and go and put it on Penn State, what are people going to say then? There's nothing that they can say. There's nothing. I think SMU's a good team. They can hang with them. I mean, when you get the looks in at some of their key players on defense, like Kobe Wilson, the linebacker over there, I can't even pronounce this. Their safety. He's all right, but he got like a weird last name or something. Shad, Ahmed Walker, their other linebacker. I think their linebacker core is solid. Um, some of the best in the ACC, top 25 kind of guys, in the ACC type of guy. But um, their pass rush, I think, is just as good as anybody else's with Isaiah Smith and Harvey. I think their pass rush is solid too with SMU. Um, this is it's on paper, and I know games ain't won on paper, people. I know, I get it, but on paper, this should be a good matchup. It really should be a good matchup, despite what you want to say about our schedule. Because I mean, Penn State's offensive line has, they hold up in some instances, but I don't know if Drew Aller is going to be able to step up to the task today because SMU is going to be able to put pressure on him. They got to take care of that SMU pass rush. That SMU pass rush has been a problem. I think that Clemson faced it at some point. They hang in there with Clemson pretty good. Um, and if I'm looking at that Clemson game with SMU and everything, that's the reason why I probably would go with them. I think Penn State just they supposed to have the talent to just knock SMU out today, man. They really are, man. They're supposed to have the talent to just go ahead and take SMU just totally out of there. Abdul Carter, one of the best pass rushers in the nation, he'll be heavily relied on today, but not enough people really talk about Sutton. Sutton is the other defensive end. I mean, he only got 4 sacks, but when you got 4 sacks, but you got 41 total tackles on the season, and not whether that's assisted or solo tackles, and that's both of those put together. But when he's that much around the ball, and there's other guys that can get it done, I think it should be a good matchup. But I feel you, and I want to see that too, and I want to roll with SMU. And I wouldn't be mad if SMU did win this game if Rent Lashley got gathered, galvanized the troops to go ahead and pull this off at Happy Valley. Because yes, I want to see what people going to say. They'll be jaw dropping and they'll say that they'll probably say, they knew SMU could beat Penn State. Penn State can't handle the big game. James Franklin don't win those games against ranked opponents. He can't get it done and blah, blah, blah. That's probably where they'll go with that shit, right? We could almost see that, right? We could almost forecast what everybody's going to be able to say, or what everybody's going to say when that time comes, right? That's what they'll say. But, real talk though, and I'm making a pick, and I know you want with your pick just because you want to, everybody with the narrative, what SMU deserved to be there, but I think I'm gonna roll with SMU for different reason today, right? And don't get it wrong, Penn State. I know I'm from Penn State, Pennsylvania, whatever. I'm going with SMU today, right? Because they did SMU dirty with the death penalty. SMU is not supposed to be where they're at right now. They should have never ended up a G5 team. Never. They should have never ended up a G5 program. They were in the Southwest Conference. Yes, I did my research, people, and y'all should be proud of me because I am a college football toddler. I'm starting to walk now. I ain't crawling no more, suckers. All right. Now, the Pony Express should have never. They should have never been a G5 program. They were in the Southwest Conference. You had the Southeast Conference, which is the SEC, and you had the SWC, which is Southwestern Conference. SMU was heavily a part of that. So was Arkansas, Baylor, a couple other teams. The Pony Express ran that joint back in the 80s. They was just fire. They ran that joint back in the 80s, and they were very good. The NCAA cracked down on SMU because people were hating on SMU. Why were they the best team in Texas? Why did they have all the talent with Dickerson and everybody else? Because they had a lot of oil money going on. And for that reason today, and I'm just keeping it real, is why I want SMU to win. I want SMU to win, go far in this tournament, in the college football playoff, to get back to dominance and being back to the best team in Texas, man. Because it should have never happened. They should have never got the death penalty. Everybody was paying players back then. It just wasn't Craig and Dickerson getting paid. It was a lot of other players that were in Georgia, Bama, Texas, Texas A&M, that was players getting paid to go to those schools, and they hated on SMU because they was a school from Dallas. They was the black sheep of Texas, and I still think that they are. So yeah, for that reason alone and the narrative, I want SMU to win. All right. So I'm very biased in this pick, but I had to explain why and put it in context why I feel like that. Get back to them Pony Express days. SMU, I want y'all to beat. I just don't want y'all to beat Penn State today because I think that Penn State is very, very they're like a one-trick pony for real. You shut down 44, make them play football, make Drew Aller play. I think they could be beat. Come with that pass rush, that solid pass rush, tackle good today, and I think that SMU could win. They got the offense to do it. But yeah, man, I'm rooting for them, man. I want to see them get back, man. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, that's my reason to go in with SMU today, bro. I want to see SMU get back to those days.
Yeah, I mean, that was solid points. I put this on Twitter. I said when they lost to Clemson, I went whole participation trophy. I said, y'all, the NCAA, y'all owe SMU this because of what y'all did to their program back in the 80s. Like, they are just now, like, literally, they just got back into a power conference from the 80s. First year in the power conference, and now they go in. I mean, they don't win the conference, you know what I mean? But they beat a lot of teams in that conference, and they're in the playoff spot. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes. We're talking about two programs. Obviously, SMU, that's when they were their closest to winning a national title in the 80s. And obviously, Penn State won their national title in the 80s as well. So, I mean, it's a little nostalgia there, right? I don't know if they played back in the 80s. I'm not too sure about that, but this would have been a big time game back in the 80s.
Ooh.
Back in the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been huge. This game would have been huge because both of these programs are on top. SMU had to come into all that oil money back then, and I still think that there's still a lot of money in Dallas, man. I still think that Dallas.
A lot of money. But the thing of it is, to me, is the perception, right? The perception is It's Austin, and then everything else is second nature. Texas A&M is second, SMU second, Baylor second, TCU second. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be interesting to see how well, because I'm gonna be honest with you, because Rhett Lashlee had Keelan Russell committed to SMU, but obviously he ultimately flipped and went to Bama. But I felt like if they would have been able to keep Keelan Russell committed, a
Mm-hmm.
big time prospect in the state of Texas from a school in Dallas, the Duncanville High School. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see. But I know they still have that they still had that veil on them. Like you're still like considered a G5 team, right? So they're gonna have
Yeah.
to, they're gonna have to make over the next couple of years. They're gonna do a lot to change that perception and keep some
Mm-hmm.
of those guys home, because I mean Texas and Oklahoma, they can't get all of the higher end talent, especially when you consider that the best quarterback in the state, probably Keelan Russell, is going to Alabama. The best wide receiver in the state is going to Oregon. Um, Oregon also got the top corner in the state, Nassim Alford. He also plays for
Yeah, that can't
Duncanville.
happen.
Yeah, so so Texas did not get any of those three guys, right? Texas did. Texas A&M didn't get those three. Oklahoma didn't get those three guys, right? So so it's an opportunity for SMU to to work, and obviously again with the portal, some of
Yeah.
these guys that went off, they may want to come back home and represent. They may want to be
Yeah.
closer. They may want to come back to Dallas. So
You should, man. You should, man. If playing for your home state, I get it. Getting out of state is good for a lot of these guys in different situations, because different situations matter. You know what I'm saying? Some guys need to get away from home to be focused, to just focus on their craft. And I get that. I definitely get that. If you're one of those type of guys that need to get away from home to limit distractions, then by all means do that. But I would definitely like to see a lot more players go there, and I think that's what Pitt's trying to do, man. So I do commend Pitt. I remember I was talking trash about that, about Pitt not trying to get the local guys, and they have been doing a better job at doing that. One of the safeties actually played in the Pittsburgh public school area, and he did a fantastic job too. But and one of the linebackers coming up, I always keep talking about him, Cameron Lindsey. I think he should be starting this year. He's a sophomore, but he's a hell of a ball player. I hope to see Cameron Lindsey out there. I can't wait to hear his name on Saturdays. Because he's a beast from Aliquippa, man. Went to the same school Darrell Reeves had attended, Aliquippa High School. That's all they do out there, man. They're sports heads out there. I can't wait to hear his name on Saturdays, man. There's a couple of other guys too from the area. Um, but I'm not gonna mention a name right now. But still, gotta do some more research. But yeah, I definitely want to see SMU pull this off, man. I know I did take Clemson to beat them, but they almost pulled that off. They should have pulled that win off versus Clemson. I want to see them beat Penn State today, man. Hush up a lot of things and get back, man. What the NCAA did to them was just straight dirty. And if I was from Texas, I would want to play for SMU just because of that. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. That's all. Uh, you said SMU has the richest alums in college football and the most billionaire boosters of any other school. Yeah, man, that's why they need to go ahead and it's legal now. It's legal now. Monopolize that joint. It's legal now, SMU. Y'all can do whatever. The Pony Express 2.0. What's up? Let's get it popping, SMU. I want to see it.
oh
uh
yeah.
all right. I'll let you take the lead on this one. I talk last. I talk too much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to make of Clemson, right? I really don't. Um, the two games in which they played against teams that were more talented than them, they lost. They lost to South Carolina, which I don't think. I would say probably they're evenly talented with South Carolina. I don't think South Carolina. Obviously, South Carolina big time defensive line and stuff like this. So I think they're evenly talented. And obviously, we know what happened in the first game against Georgia. It was just complete, you know, wipeout, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same time, it's like, okay, well, what do you make of Quinn Ewers, right? A lot is going on, off the field. I don't know if it's the strength in him in terms of He doesn't have like a high draft. I'm like he's not his draft grade is not what many people projected it to be. Like he hasn't reached the expectation, right? Obviously, in the last game, we saw Arch Manning come in. So I mean, I don't know if this Texas team is as good as their team was last year, but I mean they're still a really really good team. So I mean I don't really know, man, because obviously if you look on paper, Texas is the much more talented team, right?
Mm-hmm.
But games are not played on paper. You know, you actually have
Right.
to go out there and play those particular games, right? Um, Clemson, Dabo Sweeney having the amount of the experience that he has had in terms of being in the playoffs. He's been in these moments before, multiple times, right? He's gone up having a team that wasn't as talented as either one of those Bama teams, and he's won those games, right? Obviously, again, I brought up earlier the LSU game, which I mean nobody was beating LSU that year, so I'm not gonna blame them for not being up to that task. But K Klubnik, right? I was shocked last night because I saw like he had the second most passing touchdowns or
Mm-hmm.
something like the second most passing touchdowns, the second or third most passing touchdowns, and he which that Clemson offense it does have a lot of QB run in it. So he runs the ball a fairly good amount. Um, their secondary is pretty good, right? I think they can match up pretty well. But to me, it's just gonna come back down to Sark, man. Like he's one of the best play callers in the game, and he's had time to prepare. They probably, obviously they've looked at film and what Clemson wants to do defensively and things like that. But it's just gonna be about whether or not Quinn Ewers can go out here and execute what it is that they need to, what they need to do. Um, to me, man, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know who to pick. Like I said, I want to
It's a
go
tough pick.
conference
It's
with
it
Clemson
is. It's a tough
again
pick
under
because
SMU, but obviously, but
Texas
the
would be the
difference this
safe
time
pick,
would be I don't know how safe the Texas pick is because I mean it's like
right?
again like Texas and Clemson in
What
the
yours
same
you gonna
boat.
get
Like right,
today?
all
What
right,
Quinn
Texas.
yours you gonna get? Right? Is that what you like? Going back and forth on what Quinn yours is gonna show up today in this game?
What? No, not what Quinn. Here's what Texas is gonna show up today, right? We watched
Right?
Texas again. Going back to our pick'em show earlier in the season, right? We both felt like that. Hey, Michigan was gonna get Texas a run for their money because of their defensive line, and Texas literally took them out of the game. Texas literally, embarrassed Michigan's defense, right?
Yeah,
But then, you lost to Georgia twice. You know what I mean? They haven't. I mean, I don't get into this whole thing about they haven't beaten their ranked opponents because none of their opponents ended the season ranked. Like they beat four ranked teams in the season. So I mean, their resume is there. But it's like they should be better than they are.
they're not. They haven't been
And
consistent every game, right?
yeah,
Is that
they
what you
like
mean?
like yeah. So yeah, so I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't know. I mean, I could see Clemson. Like Clemson is heating up at the right time, but again, like y'all did lose to South Carolina at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I mean,
That's
y'all,
a
y'all
fact.
beat SMU. Y'all beat SMU, no doubt about that. Which y'all did lose to, which y'all did lose to South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
So,
which we think as we thought that South Carolina was the best defense in the SEC too, though. So
yeah,
we,
and Texas has a very formidable defense as well. So I mean, I don't know, man. I'm a roll with Texas in this, man. I'm gonna take the talent. I'm gonna take the talent, right? I'm gonna take the talent.
okay.
I'm gonna take
Yeah,
the
I
talent.
mean, and
I'm gonna
look,
take the
and
talent.
Shad, I ain't mad because like this is a very tough pick because of the fact I think that to piggyback off what you're saying about these teams, right? I feel like this. I agree with everything you said, but I also feel like Clemson is a team. That's a team. You know what I mean? They're together. That is a football team that want to go out there and scrap for each other. Not to say Texas don't want to do that, but Texas is uh, more of an NFL type of team. More it's okay. These individuals got to go out here. We got to play, and I think that's where the inconsistencies come from with that Texas team, the way that they're playing, what Texas team is going to show up. Largely the same thing I'm going to say about Ohio State when we talk about this Ohio State game. They're very similar in that fashion when it comes down to these football games. Which one of these teams, what Texas is going to show up today? You know what I'm saying? Texas has to show up on their A game today. They're going to have to, Anthony Hill Jr. has to lead that defense today. He has to lead that defense at linebacker today. He got to go out there and play smash mouth football. Be ready to stop the run with Maffa and keep a spy on Klubnik in those situations. They have the team and the talent to match up perfectly with that. But Clemson is a team that's fighting, they're scrapping, they're clawing, they're with those games. They're built for those fourth quarter 3 minutes in the game to go. Let's go all out and let's play like because they're a team and they do got some talent out there in Clemson. You know, like Clemson ain't no slouches. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely guys like T.J. Parker that leads that defensive sacks right now. The defensive end that could come off and cause some problems with Quinn Ewers. That defensive line is good. Limit turnovers today is going to be key for this game, right? And which one of these quarterbacks is going to show up and lead their team to victory today? Because I don't think that you're going to be able to win this ball game by running, but I do think that you're going to have to run the ball to keep both of these teams honest and respecting the run. But which quarterback is going to show up and lead their team to victory today? Cade Klubnik, like you say, he runs the ball, but he shows inconsistency. Same things with Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, he plays good sometimes, but then, like you said, last week, Arch Manning had to come in. Arch Manning had to come in the last game and throw a couple of joints and lead them off. Like, which one wants it more? And that's why this is a very tough pick, but I gotta go with I would have to say Texas. And I'm gonna go with Texas, man, because of their linebacker core. I think their linebacker core with Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill Jr. I think that they're just a little bit better than what Clemson's defense is. And when you got two linebackers like that play balls out, and some of the best in the ACC this year, I mean SEC, excuse me. I'm gonna give the edge to Texas just slightly, but look, I do think that Clemson, if Clemson comes out, they could pull it off, and I don't think that'd be a bad loss. But I'm going with Texas, man. Let's see what Texas do. Let's go Longhorns. Let me see what y'all got today, man, and that's why I'm going with them today. All right, going with them, man. I don't know why my joint ain't popping up, but that's what I'm going with, man. I'm going with Texas. All right. That's what I'm going with, bro. Because it didn't pop up. I got a helmet popping up. Got some technical difficulties, so that's what I'm rolling with. All right. Next one we got. Last but not least, we got Tennessee versus Ohio State Buckeyes. You could go here, bro, and pick up, and then I'll come in after you. How about that?
You know what, man? You know what I see when I see this game? I see the same thing that I see with Clemson and Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I see two teams that they the same, man. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
both teams having quarterback troubles. Nico just a true sophomore. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, can't put too much. Can't just hamper on him. But Ohio State spent a lot of money on this roster, man. They spent a lot of money on this roster. Only to lose to Michigan again. Didn't play for the Big Ten title. Tennessee spent a lot of money for Nico. I'm sure spent a lot of money to retain some of the talent that they got. Dabbling in the portal. So these are two high-priced rosters playing against each other. I know Ohio State has had some offensive line trouble. They've had to move one of their guards out to tackle. You know what I mean? So, and he's got to go up against James Pierce, who is, again, one of the best just overall defensive players in college football, not just the SEC. So I'm gonna go with Tennessee because, again, I'm not gonna change what I said during the season. If Ohio State cannot force Tennessee off schedule, if they cannot get Tennessee off their schedule, then Tennessee will do whatever they want to do against Ohio State. They will.
Mm.
They have the receivers to do it. quarterback to do it, the running back one of the best in the country. So I'm a roll. I'm a roll with Tennessee in this game, right? I just think Ohio State again. I mean, people like that performance that they had against Michigan. Like you're trying to out tough. Like you're trying to be like. I mean, Chip Kelly literally came out and just said the other day. I saw it, it's like yeah, we should have got our receivers more involved in the game. It's like, what do you mean you should? What do you mean you should have? I mean, what was the objective of what were y'all trying to accomplish? I mean, I know y'all got Quinshon Jacobs, Travion Henderson, and stuff like that. They're two big time running backs. But I mean, what was the objective that y'all were trying to accomplish against Michigan, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I'm rocking with Tennessee, man. Like I said, if you don't get them off schedule, you're not gonna beat Tennessee. And I just don't think Ohio State would be able to get them off schedule enough to win this game. And I'm giving them the edge.
I'm going with you going with Tennessee. I'm going with Ohio State, man. I'm going with Ohio State today, man. Number one, they at the shoe. They at home. Look, Will Howard, I think he gets a bad name. Coming from Kansas State, I get it. Will Howard is not. He definitely ain't Cal McCord. If they should have kept Cal McCord, I know they're beating their head in 1,000 times over, saying we should have stuck with Cal McCord. Our team would be hands down a lot better in a lot better position to beat Oregon. I do think that Oregon is going to take it. I foresee Oregon and Georgia in the final. I think those are going to be the two teams that's left. It's going to be Oregon versus Georgia. That's what I think. Uh, I think because Ohio State, the quarterback position, but look, they got a ball up, man. Sonny Styles and Cody Simon, safety for Ohio State, Styles, and then Simon, the linebacker for Ohio State. They got to step up today. They got to play hands down good football. I think that Ohio State got a solid team when it comes to that. James Pierce for Tennessee, of course, he's going to get his. He's an NFL prospect. He's too good not to get his. Um but Big JT, the defensive end from Ohio State, he also gets busy too. And I think that there's a couple of other guys that don't get mentioned. Cody Silas, Jack Sawyer, they're not getting 10 and 11 sacks, but they are good in what they do, right? And I think that this defense from Ohio State today, they showed Tennessee, and I think we see that a little bit. To be honest with y'all, I think we see a little bit about Tennessee, and I don't. Tennessee's defense is going to be as advertised, but will that Tennessee offense show up today? I think that we're going to see a different Ohio State team playing today, y'all. I really do. I think Ohio State is about to go all out today. I think they're about to go ham. They're about to go ham. Ohio State, man. I'm going with the Buckeyes, man. I think they about to do something different today. Um, and look, I get it. I like the SEC. I do like the SEC. And I like the Big Ten. I like both conferences. I don't think that either one of these conferences in 2 years, I'm gonna give it 2 years, this year and after next year, I think that college football will be completely mixed up to the point where I don't think either one of these programs, either one of those conferences will be top dog unless this revenue sharing thing goes the way it goes, and we just got all Big Ten, SEC, and they break off and go into their own league and say, you know what, after NCAA, this is Big Ten and SEC country type of ball. But yeah, I'm gonna get up into that. I'll get up into that another day. But I think we had a show about that. What if the Big Ten and the SEC just ran college football? What would it look like? And I think that's going to happen at some point, y'all. We're going to see that. I think that that's going to happen. I don't know how many years it's going to be, but they got the most money. With the TV deals, a lot of those teams, and I well, I definitely could see it being split up like that. All the northern, could you imagine? They're just being aligned through the middle of the United States. So everything north of what they say, the Mason-Dixon line, I guess, is all Big Ten. So you got Big Ten everywhere. You know what I mean? You got the whole Big Ten up top, and then all the bottom is just all SEC. period, just split right down the middle, just like that. And I think that'd be a good. I think that'd be good. I think that'd be good. Although I think the SEC would have it would kind of be unfair because I think they would have California, Texas, and Florida um kind of sewed up, right? You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that you can't pull talent from those states, you know what I mean, if you're in a Big Ten. Um but yeah, I think that's where we're going with college football, period. And it may end up like that. It's not far fetched to say so. But I would like to see that. But yeah, I'm going with them, man. And if y'all gotta forgive me for my technical difficulties today, I have no idea what's going on with my picture. Y'all see Shad's picture is good, but I had to kind of make mines up on the fly. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I did before the show, but I must have did something wrong. But you got anything you want to add, bro, before we get on up out of here, bro?
Nah, bro. I mean, like I said, it's gonna be a good game, man. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
said? Like I said, Tennessee when they're they on schedule. They on schedule. I mean, you
How
can't
you
do nothing with them.
how you feel about Travis Hunter getting the Heisman, man? I know you ain't. I know you're big on that, and you. How you feel about Travis Hunter getting the Heisman?
I mean, I think he should have. I said what I said, man. You know what I mean? He was the most
I
popular.
didn't hear what you had to say
No,
on it.
no,
That's why
but
I'm asking you now.
no. When we spoke last, I told you this. I said he's the most popular person, right?
Oh,
And
right, right.
I broke down the difference between what the Heisman was and what the Maxwell was.
Yes, you did. Yes, you
I don't
did.
have a problem.
Yes, you did.
To be honest, I don't have a problem with him winning the Heisman. My gripe is how did he get these defensive awards when he was much more impactful on the offensive side of the ball? That's what my gripe is. People are upset
Mm,
about the Heisman. The Heisman is what the Heisman or whatever the Heisman is, right? I mean, he's a popular player. I mean, when we look at it, for the most part, the most popular players, for the most part, have won the Heisman Trophy. Not all the time, but for the most
right.
part, you can look at some of the previous Heisman Trophy winners, and you can say that a large, quite a few of these guys were the most popular players in college football. Like Baker
Yeah.
Mayfield was really popular. Johnny Manziel was very popular. Reggie Bush, going back when he was the Heisman, he was very popular. Obviously, Travis Hunter is very popular. Tim Tebow was very popular when he won over a guy like a Darren McFadden, who I felt like was probably better. But it's not the first time where people felt like that the person won the Heisman Trophy they should have won it. They didn't win it, right? You know, and me and one of my buddies was talking. I said, man, a lot of people that are upset about this is not about because Travis won. Y'all are upset. Y'all are upset. Y'all are taking out y'all frustrations because y'all are upset with Dion. Y'all taking it out on Travis.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what it is. But like I said, I don't have a gripe when winning the Heisman. My gripe is, bro, how did you win these defensive player trophies? You were not
Right.
the best defensive player in the country. Like, if we just look at your stats, right? What, 4 picks? What, couple tackles?
Yeah.
Like nothing screamed that you were the best defensive player in college football. So to me, that was the biggest robbery. To me, was him winning those defensive awards.
Yeah.
To
I'm
me,
about to tell you exactly what he had right now.
I know he got the big. I think he got the big Neric. They got the big Neric. So
Yeah.
I don't know how he got the big Neric award.
Me neither, bro. He had four interceptions, right? Yeah, he had four interceptions, 11 batted passes, 31 total tackles, 11 assisted tackles, and 20 solo. He had 20 solo tackles,
That was a lot.
11 assisted, 11 batted passes, four interceptions, and one forced fumble.
It's not the best defensive player in college football. Like, how do you get that over Mason Graham? Bro, how, like, you are going to the NFL as an offensive player. That's not debatable at this point. You're going to be a
Mm.
wide receiver. How in the hell? How in the hell do you win the Becknerick Award with those numbers? You're not the best. Like I said, I don't care about the Heisman. You're not the best defensive player in college football.
Mm-mm.
You're not. So that'd be my gripe with it. Like, bro, like, come on, man.
Was he the best DB in college football?
No, he
What
wasn't.
what 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 stat matters to you the most as a defensive back? If you're judging a defensive back, what's some of the stats that stand
Again,
out to you,
who
Shad?
did what did he didn't match up with T Mac. You missed that game.
Yeah.
Who's the receiver that you lined up against? Who was it? Jimmy Horn in practice,
Mm,
Webster in practice,
mm,
yeah, in
mm,
practice. But who is the guy that Travis lined up against? We saw what happened when you lined up against Illuminor.
mm,
He got put on the scene because of what he did to Travis Hunter.
mm,
So you didn't get that get back because Stanford went to the ACC and y'all went to the Big 12. So cool on that.
mm.
You didn't play against T Mac. Who is the receiver that you matched up against that put you in a position to say, oh well, yeah, Travis, you the best DB. Like those stats are cool. You got 4 picks, you know what I mean? You have great ball skills. True that. 11 passes batted. True that. But bro, who is the receiver that you matched up against? Where is he at?
Oh,
And again, you the Big 12 aficionado. Y'all didn't play Iowa State, so you didn't get to go play. You didn't get to play against either one of those. And those
mm-mm.
probably would have. That was the best. I mean, behind. You know what? I almost said something incorrectly.
Jaden Higgins and
That's
Jalen
probably the second.
Noel.
That's the second best duo in the Big 12. I give Trav and whoever Webster, whoever Jimmy Horn, whatever. I give y'all number one best receiver core.
Travis Hunter and
You
Jalen
didn't play.
LeJounte Wester.
Yeah,
Statistically,
whoever it is. I
on
give y'all
film, you
that.
can give it to him, but statistically, Jalen Noel and Jaden Higgins is the best Big 12
Yeah.
tandem.
But like I said, I don't want to sound like I'm a hater. So
All
I'll
right.
let y'all have it. But you didn't play against T Mac. You didn't play against Noel or Higgins. So you did not again, you were hurt when y'all played Arizona. You were hurt. You didn't get to go against T Mac. So no, you're not the best DB. And you're not the best you're not the best defensive player in college football. Like this is like people are upset about the Heisman. And again, I know the Heisman, all the prestige and everybody loves to talk about it. It has its own ceremony and all that stuff. You know, it's big for money. But at the end of the day, bro, being the best defensive player in college football, y'all robbed people. Y'all really robbed people on that.
Mm,
Y'all like that was the real robbery.
mm. Talk about it. Because he didn't match up against Jack Beck from TCU. Didn't match up against Jalen Noel. No Jordan Tyson. No Jaden Higgins. And no T Mac. You could say that those are the top 5 outside of Travis, the top 5 receivers in the Big 12. He ain't match up against neither one of those
No,
guys.
you didn't match up against it. So no, I can't do it. I can't. I
I,
can't. I can't.
I mean, look, look, man.
Hold up,
I've made
hold
several
up, Chuck.
videos talking about him being the best receiver in college football. When you watch film and you look at film, because the argument of trying to discredit Genty for being a good college player was that the narrative with that he was in a G5, but then you look at Travis, you just said it better than maybe I said it. They didn't match up against none of the top receivers in the Big 12. So you get
But
defensive
Chuck,
player. Heisman, he got it. He won that. He
Chuck,
deserved it. Got that. Defensive
Chuck,
player.
yeah,
Weird.
Chuck. I'm gonna throw some names out. We can get out of here. I'm gonna throw some names out here
Go
and
ahead.
tell me, does Travis Hunter name deserve to be in the same ranks as these individuals?
Who?
Will Anderson Jr.
No.
from a defensive perspective, not offensive, but from a defensive perspective. Which one? Like these are names. Does Travis Hunter name deserve to be in the same ranks? Jordan Davis from
No.
Georgia, Chase Young,
No.
Minka Fitzpatrick,
Ah.
Aaron Donald,
Ah.
and Dominican Sue,
Ah.
Patrick Peterson,
Oh.
Tyron Matthew,
Woo wee.
Julius Peppers,
Oh
Dan Morgan,
wow.
LeVar Arrington, Charles Woodson.
No, Katie. No, Katie. We're not saying that Travis wasn't the best football player. We're not saying that. That's not. We're not saying that. You know, and I hope that it didn't sound like we're not saying that Travis Orton was not the best football player. What Shad was saying was the best defensive player. Got to put that in context. We didn't say that Travis Hunter was not the best football player. We didn't say that. The best defensive player. Was he the best defensive player in the country? And he just named
Now
off
y'all here
a
tripping,
list
man.
of names of guys who are now damn. You could say those are all Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. Those are all Hall of Fame guys that you named on that list. Just off top that I'm thinking of that I could think of. Those names that I've heard come out your mouth are all Hall of Fame guys. Um, Not to say that he won't be in the Hall of Fame, but there's a lot of deserving guys that played some lockdown defense in college football this year. He did not play against a top five receiver and will not play against a top five receiver or in his own conference. Period. Period. Yeah, he faced some of the top right receivers in the Big 12. Yes, he did. I think Jace Brown from Kansas. He's seen him. He's seen Presley and Stribling from Oklahoma State. Their quarterback was doo doo, garbage doo doo, hot steaming straight up out the dog. Um, but yeah, but Chase Roberts, he's what a top 10 guy, but the top five guys in his conference, he didn't face up against those guys. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to get his opinion on that, to be honest.
I
You know what I'm
mean,
saying? Oh, she said I was stirring the pot. I should have let you cook. 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 But yeah. So that's how I feel. But Genty, do you think Genty is going to break Barry Sanders' record?
at this point, like I think that in terms of these records, personally, I feel like if they didn't break the record in the same amount of games that they broke it, that the record holder broken in,
Shouldn't count.
to me, it's irrelevant. But
Uh,
will he break it? What all he needs is what another hundred and what
35,
134.
134, something
So
like that.
yeah, I'm sure he's good for that. But at the same time, it's like you didn't break it in the same amount of games. So to me, like it's almost like Saquon Barkley, right? If Saquon, if he breaks Eric Dickerson record, if he don't break it in the same amount of games Eric Dickerson broken in, like to me, it's irrelevant, bro.
Yeah,
Like it's irrelevant. But
I got it.
he should. 134 yards, you right there. Cause what they get the winner out of who? Texas and Tennessee.
Let me Texas and let me see. Let me make sure before we get on up out of here. Uh College football playoff bracket. All right. Um what does that bracket look like right now at the present moment? We got all right. I gotta share it. Is this the right bracket? Oh yeah, this the right bracket. Hold on. Let me get it pulled up here. Let me share it so everybody can see it. That's with us. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got to it early today, folks. We got to it early. And Shad got to it early today. So that's the bracket right here, Shad, that I got pulled up for you for us right here, bro.
Uh,
Um Hold on. Let me readjust that real quick. Let me readjust that. I don't know if we can get it.
oh, no, they get the win out of SMU and Penn State. Oh yeah, he'll get that. Yeah, he'll get that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So you think he'll get it
Yeah, he'll get that.
against Penn State or SMU?
He'll get that for this one. Man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so damn. So you got somebody who broke Barry Sanders' record. How long has Barry Sanders' record been
Since the '80s.
what year? All right, so let me see what year he broke. That was 89? No, 88.
Somewhere.
1988, right? Is that when he? That's when he broke that record, right?
Somewhere in there. Somewhere. I
Yeah,
know it's in the 80s.
1988.
Okay.
1988 is when he broke that record. Sheesh. Sheesh. Damn. Damn. That's crazy.
I'm just, while you
So
talking about
30,
that,
so it's been what? 30. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. What? So you got 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Hold up, 2008, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. All right, so six on top of that, 18, 6, 36 years, 37 years it's been standing. 36, 37 years. That's older than a lot of people that's watching, or old as a lot of people that's watching right now. 37, 36, 37 years that record's been standing in college football, has not been broken, and it's probably not going to be broke again for another what you can argue that it's not going to be broken for another 37 years,
it's gonna be a
maybe
while.
maybe longer because it took 36, 37 years for that whole thing. You said the dogs is going to whoop Notre Dame, motivated, dedicated, but you a Georgia Bulldog fan, you biased though. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta take off your Georgia hat and really analyze that game. Do you really think that Georgia is going to win? Now look, I will say this about your Georgia Bulldogs. The Georgia Bulldogs is this year's Michigan's team. What and I've said this plenty of times, and I know I sound like a broken record, y'all, because I done heard me say I know Shad like here he go again with this shit. Um, like listen, it is what it is. They won it more than anybody else. All those guys from Georgia came back to win a national championship. They didn't come back to go and play a bowl game. They came back to get into the college football playoff and to win. You're going to see a team in Georgia that is never going to quit. They're never going to quit. Never. Georgia is never going to quit. They're not going to back down out of any of these challenges, no matter what team they're facing. Like I said, I do think that the national championship is going to come down out of Oregon and Georgia. Dan Lannon versus Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart versus Dan Lannon. Ducks and the Bulldogs. Bulldogs and the Ducks. That's what I
Hey,
think.
hey, I'm still stuck on the Chuck McNair thing, right? I just looked at some stats. You know who should have won the award?
Who?
Sean Dolick from Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sean Dullock from Buffalo. Buffalo. Oh, yeah. The linebacker from Buffalo.
The man
Oh,
had
yeah.
100. The man had 119 tackles,
Oh, yeah.
16 hurries,
Woo.
5 interceptions, and a
Woo.
touchdown.
Woo. And 4 batted passes. Hold on. Don't forget the batted passes he had now.
And y'all, and they gave it to y'all.
Woo.
They'll be crying about the Heisman. That was the real robbery.
Mm. Sean Dolick from Buffalo was amazing. He's definitely going to be a first round pick. Most definitely. Sean Dolick is definitely going to come out. I think he's a super senior. I think so. I want to say that. I think it's his fifth college season. He came in COVID. I think he had a COVID year. So I think technically he could still come back if he wanted to. But at this point, the season that he had in Buffalo, you're right. Sean Dolick had he had 76 solo tackles, 83 assisted, 159 total, 5.5 sacks. He had 4 batted passes, 5 interceptions, 1 touchdown. It just don't get no better than that. And then his running mate, Red Murdoch, was number 2 in the country as far as tackles. Had 2 sacks. He didn't have an interception, but he had 5 forced fumbles. So you could even argue that he could have been up for that with 5 forced fumbles. I think forced fumbles in a country. How many? I don't. That's not even a category. Who has the most forced fumbles in a country? I don't even think that's a category. But if I'm not mistaken, Red Murdoch and Buffalo got to be damn near at the top of that list. 5 forced fumbles in one season. That's incredible. The second most I think is that has forced fumbles is Anthony Hill Jr. from Texas. He got 4 of them things. That's a lot. 4 or 5 forced fumbles is a lot of damn forced fumbles in one season.
Yeah.
That's a lot of them. So yeah, but that's it. That's it with that. You said Kirby is about to shut Notre Dame down. UGA knows how to win big ones, and that's a reflection on their coaching. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Katie. I agree, and I agree with both of y'all. Like I like Georgia to get to the finals. I do. I like Georgia to get there, man. I think that I don't think that nobody on Georgia's side of their bracket can mess with Georgia, to be honest. I think Georgia would beat Penn State handily. Um I think Notre Dame handily. I think they got the easy side of the bracket, to tell you the truth. Oregon should have the side of the bracket that Georgia has. They're number one in the country.
They didn't do them no favors.
No, they didn't. They did. They gave Oregon the harder side of the bracket. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. Look at Oregon's side of their bracket versus Georgia, and Oregon won. And Oregon won more games. They're number one in the country, and they got to play the toughest teams in the country.
Yep.
They got to go through it, man. Hey, man. Hey, it's 12 o'clock, man. It's kickoff time, man. Hey, Shad, bro. I appreciate you coming through, bro. Let me know when y'all go live, man, so I can check y'all out over there. I know I ain't check you in South Coast out in a minute, man. I ain't seen South Coast in a minute. That's my guy, man. But tell him I said what's up next time you see him. Much love, salute to y'all, man. Um, I know y'all be going in, man. I be trying to, get people over there to tune in to y'all shows and shit, y'all panels and all of that too. So, show love to everybody out here. We all grinding. Appreciate it though, dog. You got to turn that into a movie, shit. I gotta put you on the spot on live, bro. You got that gotta be a movie, bro. Porter City gotta be a movie. What character fits me, bro? What character fits me in that book, bro? Which one can I play, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Who
I
you want to play?
I think I want to play. Okay, let me see. Who do I want to play in that? I don't want to be the that. I want to be I think I could play the smooth, because you got to think, like, you got to give some extra context to the character. Can't remember dude that went to law school and all that. They thought that was in a gang and all that. I think that'd be perfect for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Um, I
Okay.
think that'd be perfect for me. You know what I'm saying? Nice
Yeah.
chubby little short dude. Throw people off. With my bravado and everything. But Porter City, man, that is the new birth, bro. That is I love that book, bro. I'm telling you, I love it, bro.
I
It
appreciate
got,
it, dog.
like,
I
that
enjoy.
series.
I enjoy writing that.
That
Appreciate
that series, bro. Like I'm like, damn. I wanted to ask, like, is that something that, like, when you wrote that book, like, you had to experience some of this shit in real life? There's no way, like, it just was too real, bro. It had me. It gave you every emotion. You felt every emotion read in that book, bro. Every single emotion that you possibly could feel. You felt vindicated. You felt happy. You felt sad. Every emotion, bro, just every emotion, and I loved it. It's a good read, man. Y'all gotta get Shad's books, man. Y'all got to, man. He, like, I'm telling you, bro, he'll knock Tyler Perry the fuck out of the box.
Nah, I ain't gonna go that
Straight
far.
up, bro. Like, if this is not, I'm serious, bro. If that got to be a play, bro. That has to be a movie, a series. Porter City has to be a series. You got to make a part two to Porter City, bro. You got to. You got to find
Well, you
some way
know
to
what? You know what?
to extend that, bro.
I gotta I gotta find a way, cause I got the original. I didn't publish it. I got it. I gotta find a way to send you the original through an
Yeah,
email.
bro.
I get it worked up. I'll let you know. I'll send you the
Okay.
first part so you can kind of see what led up to it.
All right. Yeah, cause
Cause
like, cause bro.
I wrote them, I wrote them in order,
Okay.
but I published the second one first. Right. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna go on my email today and I'm gonna send you the first one.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. It's like, I gotta get it, man. I ain't just hyping up because, you know what I mean, you my boy, dog. But I was like, yeah, that was a good read. And look, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not a big reader. I'm not a big reader. I'm not. I'm
Like I
not.
said, I mean, I ain't trying to bore nobody. Like I said, say a lot in a couple pages.
Yeah.
I
But
ain't
I
trying.
like it. That, it was good, bro. Every emotion is in there, bro, and it's just real. I like it, bro. I really do. They got to turn into a series. We got to get somehow we got to get it out there. But I definitely want to play one of them characters in the book, though, for sure. Definitely got to play that guy. Gotta get it. I kind of because as I'm like, I ain't trying to bore y'all, no, but as I'm reading, I'm like, man, this fit just like kind of like how they got All American HBCU campus like that. How they got it on the HBCU campus. Like, so this story takes place and the HBCUs down south start from there. Then everybody goes into their careers and life and start life and you and shit. Like this, man, listen, bro. Like, yeah, I don't know. I ain't trying to tell you this, but bro, that shit hard, bro. That's hard. I appreciate you, Shad. I do, bro. I appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody that came through here, man. Y'all enjoy those games, man. We got one on right now. It is popping. SMU and Penn State. It's on right now. Y'all better go tune in and get to that game, man. Let's go SMU. What you got to say, Shad?
Hey, pony up.
Pony up. Pony up, man. Pony up out here, man. Y'all know what time it is. Another Track and Turbine production. Shout out to Shad. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Shad. Shad1419 on YouTube. Maxima Boy on X. I am Track and Chubby on all the platforms, man. I thank y'all for tuning in. Till the next time, y'all. Peace.